Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. Today, I will be reading from the r/EntitledPeople subreddit, so let's jump into it. My quote-unquote Catholic coworker thought the church should foot all of her son's school bills so she could spend the money on herself. I have lived a very interesting life. Oh, the stories I can and will tell. For now though, I will stick to the time I worked for a small Catholic newspaper. Now, just a disclaimer, I myself am not Catholic, but luckily, that did not stop me from being hired. This was both a blessing in that it paid the bills and I got to do what I loved as the sole graphic designer. And a curse in that I worked with some over-the-top people, including a woman who was the epitome of being a Karen years before being a Karen was even a thing. This story involves Karen, whom we will call Rachel, not her real name. Rachel had been hired as a secretary and additional receptionist. We were a small office of up to 10 to 12 people max at any given time. When she came on, she was married and had a child. Like me, she was initially not Catholic, however, she converted later. I mention this because it is important in the grand scheme of things. Why, you ask? Well, the only reason she became Catholic is because she found out that by her and her son being Catholic, she could get the church to foot the bill for sending her son to a private Catholic school instead of a public one. She did this because she wanted a private education for her son, but didn't want to pay for it. So she went through RCIA and had him go through RCIC and the whole 9 yards, then told their church that they couldn't afford to send him to school and got the church to pay for it. So, she got what she wanted. This frustrated a fellow coworker when she found out, because she had been their sponsor, and genuinely thought that Rachel had been sincere in her wish to be Catholic. During this time, Rachel made it all but abundantly clear that she only plays Catholic when she needs to, as to get what she wants or needs, like that money, but has no intention of actually living the life of a Catholic. Whenever Rachel's son needed to buy books or get money for extracurricular activities or lunch money or field trips, etc., she would immediately go to her church's parish office, making sure to look her poorest and most vulnerable, and ask them to cover the amount. And they always did. Again, pissing off our fellow coworker, who was a member of the same parish and had sponsored them. The kicker is that all of us knew that Rachel's husband made a decent living, but apparently he didn't know that this was going on. I met him a few times, and he was actually a really great guy, and so was their son. It's just unfortunate that he married a greedy gold digger. Rachel was getting everything paid for by basically everyone else because of her poor status. Rachel had started spending almost all of her lunches either going to a tanning salon, getting $200 to $300 manicures and pedicures, getting her hair professionally done and kept up on a weekly basis, and getting spa treatments at least once every 2 weeks. Basically, all the money she spent on her own personal upkeep would have been more than enough to cover her son's schooling at the private Catholic school. What made it all even more ridiculous is that this woman went to tan so often that at one point, she went past the normal orangish leathery look and started looking gray. I kid you not. She had gray undertones to her tanning. Not fully gray, just enough of a gray undertone to make several of us question if she was starting to turn into a zombie or something. My coworker that sponsored Rachel did try to tell the church, but without proof that Rachel was actively trying to scam them, and with Rachel quote-unquote proving that she was quote-unquote poor due to quote-unquote bills, and them wanting to give her the benefit of the doubt, nothing ever came of it. It, of course, then came as no surprise, at least to me, later, that she decided her husband no longer made enough money and was no longer worth her time. So she decided to actively seek out an affair because she wanted something better solidified. But that is another story that I will tell later. geez, Rachel is the worst kind of person. It's too bad that she's not actually Catholic, because this woman needs to burn in hell. Also, keep in mind that this story seems like it took place a long time ago, so it might work differently now that you have to provide more information to get funding from the church, but OP still states that he has no idea how she got away with all of this. The people I feel the worst for in all of this, though, is the son and the husband. But OP also states that the husband caught on to Rachel's antics and filed for divorce before she did, which is the story I'll be reading for y'all tomorrow. But anyways, that is all from me today. Let me know what you guys think about Rachel in the comments. I love to read your guys' opinions. Please leave a like and subscribe if you want. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!